weekly football roundtable. We got the big guy back, Jordan Moore, Shaun, Cody Kessler. So why don't we start with you then, Shaun? We didn't get to talk to you last week, man. There's so many positive things happening around USC football. We got the #1 recruiting class in the country. You got to meet Chad today. Seems like defensive line is a thing again at USC. You gotta like that.
Yeah, all signs pointing towards great things for the future of USC football. It seems like a lot of great offseason moves, coaches, GMs, players. A lot of things are happening in a positive light. Of course, I'm sure a lot of teams across the country feel like that this time of year, and everyone's feeling positive about their team. But it feels like USC is making a lot of correct moves, maybe a lot of changing of positions to get in the right angle to win some football games. So I feel pretty positive this time of year.
Yeah, and sticking with the defensive line, I'm really excited about the returners, right? We talked about Jamal Jarrett, which great football player. We're talking about Keyshawn Silver. Jakeem's coming over here. Thanos, as everyone keeps calling him. I'm excited for that, but I'm so excited for those young guys that got thrown into the fire last year, right? With the Jade Abasiri and the Devin Tompkins and guys like that who had to play early on because and Cameron Fountain, another guy, because of injuries last year. I can't wait to see what they do this year, the way they develop and take that next step.
Well, our Women's Spotlight is brought to you by Sprouts Farmers Market, open 7 days a week. Visit your neighborhood Sprouts for good-for-you groceries and great prices on the freshest produce. So what everyone's talking about at USC, as it should be right now, is it's coming up right after us. What, about 9 minutes or so? They're going to tip off USC and UConn, a rematch of last year's Elite Eight. Obviously, no Juju Watkins in this one, guys, but Cody, you are our self-proclaimed basketball expert. You were an elite high school basketball player, as you like to tell everybody. So you can break down how to stop Paige Beckers for us.
Ooh. This is one of those where you watch a player and you go, I don't know how to stop him, but you just hope to contain him, right? She is a phenomenal basketball player. I'm the most bummed right now that we don't get a Paige and Juju rematch. I was looking forward to that. Yeah, but shout out to our team too. I mean, it's sometimes, and Juju Watkins is obviously a generational talent, but sometimes it forces your hand a little bit when you don't have your star player, right? And the other freshmen and some of the other players have to step up. But yeah, it's going to be a tough challenge tonight. I know we're the underdog, but you kind of want to be in that spot, right? You're not on quite a road game. You're in Spokane, but everyone kind of has their mind made up that UConn's going to win this game. Our backs are against the wall, and I can't wait to see what team shows up.
Shout out our young players, right? You said Howell and Smith. I mean, they just were phenomenal last game. I think all eyeballs were on Kiki and what she was going to do, and they probably tried to take her away a little bit. But the young freshmen came to play, man. I was super impressed with their game.
Want to hear my 3 keys to victory?
Of course I do.
The first one would be, how do they officiate Kennedy? I would be shocked if Kennedy Smith, who's as good a freshman defender as I've seen ever, I assume she will be on Paige. Mm-hmm. If Paige gets a couple star calls early and they're calling little hands and Kennedy's in foul trouble, that's bad news for the Trojans. My second one, paint points for USC. I agree with you. They did not get a lot in the paint against Kansas State, and so they're going to have to feed Kiki. UConn is not quite as good inside as they were a year ago when they beat the Trojans. That was kind of how they beat USC last year. They got to get Kiki going.
Yeah, when she was going, all the points were in the paint. Yeah.
Yep, they got to get her going in this one. And then the last one, they got to make threes. I'm looking at the freshman and then Talia Van Olhoffen, who we've had on the show, maybe 8 between them. The hard thing, and you guys can speak to this, we have like 30 seconds, but in my mind, in everyone's mind, you go, oh, you're the underdog. Play free and easy. You kind of have nothing to lose. No one expects you to win this game without Juju. Kind of easier said than done, though, right? I mean, this is still the Elite Eight stage. These freshmen have never played on it before. Free and easy is probably going to be hard for them.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they'll be challenged in a lot of ways, not just physically, but mentally as you approach these teams. These other teams, you used to mention Paige Becker. She's been doing it for a long time, and she knows how to win these kinds of games.
Yeah, and it's still USC, right? I know Juju Watkins is a phenomenal player, but there's still a lot of 5-stars on this roster. It's hard to take that underdog approach when you are the #1 seed and you're a top dog in this tournament. So it's going to be tough, but I fully trust Lindsey Gottlieb. I know she's going to have a great plan in place, and it's going to be a fun one to watch.
Can't wait to watch it. That's coming up next. We have one more segment of Trojans Live.